Hello viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Elsie and this is Elsie Care Stitch. In this video, we'll be learning how to make a handkerchief rounded flare dress. Stay tuned. To do the handkerchief rounded flare dress, I want to use the wax print or what they call Ankara. And the type I'm using is quite tall. The height is like 48 inches. So before I use this Ankara or wax print to do our dress, I would like to use this paper to show you exactly what I want us to learn today. So assuming this is the self edge of the Ankara, what we are looking for in the part of the handkerchief aspect is a complete square. And the only way we can get that square is to get the same measurement here as the same measurement this way. So we just fold it like a triangle and then we cut it over here. So now we have a complete square. So basically what we are looking for is a square, a perfect square for our dress. And that will determine the height of the dress and also the height of the fabric here will determine the length that we have to cut. So I'll just place it on it like a triangle and cut it out. So I've arranged it. I'm trying to get that perfect square. So I'll just cut it out. So now we have our fabric folded in the triangular shape. And then we have the front and we have the back. So this is 4. Now I'll start with our measurements. The important measurements that I'll be using for this dress will be the shoulder, the across chest, the armhole line, the bust line, and the full length. So now let's look at the measurements I'll be using for the dress. My shoulder to shoulder is 12. When you divide it into 2, you have 6 inches. Across chest front will be 13. Divided into 2, you have 6.5. Across chest back. Across chest back will be 14. Divided into 2, you have 7 inches. Then the armhole or bust is 42. Divided by 4, I have 10.5. And I'm only adding an allowance of 1/2 inch because of the kind of sewing I want to do for the side seam. And so that gives me 11 inches. Then the full length is 52. So now let's get started. Now I would like to locate where I can conveniently get my shoulder to shoulder. And if you watch, this is how I'm turning my tape. So my shoulder to shoulder, my 6 inches will fall here. So I'll just draw that, the neck line. Then I will drop from that shoulder line by 5 inches. To get my across chest line. And then I'll again from the shoulder line, I'll measure out 9 inches for my armhole line. Take note, I am not using this side of the fabric as my side seam. Whatever I'm doing must run parallel to the middle of that's the center front of the dress. So now we have our shoulder line, we have our cross chest line, then we have the armhole line. Now I'll drop the armhole line by 3 inches. And that is to say, if from shoulder to the armhole is 9 inches, then from shoulder to this nipple line will be 12 inches because I dropped it 3 inches. So these are the various lines we are coming to work with. Now my shoulder to shoulder, like I said before, is 6 inches. And then I have to take out my neck width. I want to use 3 inches for my neck width. And I want to use let me say 3/4 of an inch for my neck depth, for the back neck depth. And then for the front, I'll use 3.5. I'll just connect because it's a high neck dress. Now with my shoulder, I'll go down 1 inch. Usually we use 1/2 inch, but there's a reason I'm making it 1 because I don't want any space. And since the dress is just a sleeveless, as much as I can, I want to close it. Now to the across chest. For the front, the across chest is 13 and divided by 2 will give me 6.5. Now we come to the armhole line. The armhole line, my bust is 42 and divided by 4 will give us 10.5. Take note that across chest is across chest, and so there will be across back also. That is why it's only divided into 2. But with the bust, it's divided into 4. And the 42 divided into 4 will give us 10.5. Plus my sewing allowance, 1/2 inch, making it 11. This is the armhole line. So now we come to the bust line. And the bust line, like I said before, I drop from here 3 inches to get this line. And it's going to be the same measurement, 11. So basically that is what we have over here. Now let me link up for the armhole. That is it. And I'm connecting this too. I hope you can see it. So from the bust line, we are going to connect it to the side of the dress, which is now going to fall on this side of the cloth to give us that beautiful flare aspect. So that is it. Now we take the last measurement, which is the full length measurement of the dress. So the full length will be 52 from the shoulder line. And I'll just add a sewing allowance of 1 inch to give me 53. If you like, you can leave your dress with the handkerchief aspect. That's the pointed aspect. But I would like to trim it off. That is why it is rounded. That is why it is a rounded handkerchief flare dress. So I'll just round it into this. So this is the end of our drafting. So now we'll just cut. Now I'm picking just the front to cut out the front depth. So we are done. Because it's a round neck, a very close one, is not open. I need an opening at the back. But before I do this opening, I would like to make sure it doesn't shift. So I will iron out an interfacing before I give it the cut I want for the back. So now I've ironed out my interfacing and I have to cut out the back slit. I want to round it out a little like a keyhole. So I had to iron out the interfacing just so that it doesn't shift when I'm piping it, because I'll be using a piping for the armhole, the neck, and the opening. I'll be piping the whole thing. I've already cut out the strips for that. So now I'll go to the machine and sew the shoulder. Okay, so I've finished sewing the shoulders and I used a flat felt seam, making it look so neat. Then after I did this, I went ahead and did the side too, using the same flat felt seam. Then after that, I came to pipe the back slit over here, and then I did the neckline. After the neckline, I also did the armholes. I piped them, and then the last thing to do was the hem, all neatly done. Now I fixed the hook as well at the back. So now our rounded handkerchief flare dress is ready. So beautiful. If you like what you see, don't forget to press the like button and also subscribe and press the notification button so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll be the first to be notified. Thanks for watching. See you again in my next video. Bye.